for Myst, featuring Radicoon.
Hello, Fastest Furs. I'm Radicoon. You can just call me Rad. This is Myst, or the newest version of Myst. We call it Myst 2020. I'll be running all pages, which is as close as we can get to 100% in this game. I am the current world record holder of the non-VR version, but on commentary, I have Flapjack.
Hello there. I am the current world record holder of most of the VR versions of this VR runs of this game. So,
For now.
Radicoon has already declared his intent to bot me. So,
yeah. So, there's been some interesting developments in this category since Fastest Furs was gracious enough to give me this spot. I appreciate that. Just a quick reminder for anybody that's not familiar with Myst. It came out in the early 90s as a CD game. It was remastered in 2000. It was converted to 3D in 2000, named Real Myst. And then it was ported to Unity in 2014, and that's called Real Myst Masterpiece. So this is the 2020 version that was originally released on the MetaQuest 2 and then released last year for PC. So we call it Myst 2020. It technically came out for PC in 2021, but who's counting? 2020 sounds way cooler. So Myst is like it originally was a point-and-click adventure game, and this is more of like a point-and-click walking simulator. So it's very exciting. I'm sure you're on the edge of your seat. But it's going to look a little crunchy. One of the reasons for that is that we're going to run the game at the highest frame rate. I'm targeting like 240 frames a second internally with lowered resolution, because that'll just make us go a little bit faster. Okay. I miss anything, Flapjack?
I think we hit all the talking points. We'll continue to fill them all in as we work our way through the run.
Okay. So for whatever reason, this game has never had a cutscene skip patched into the intro. So
please fix this.
For now, we are allowed to load a save which was created at like frame 0 of where you start on Myst Island. Yeah, I guess give me a countdown.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go!
Okay.
So, as Rad said, we load the save to begin the run, and timer starts on the first movement of on Myst Island. He's moving around the island now, touching all of these copper oxidized switches and interacting with seemingly arbitrary things dotted around the island. What he's actually doing is opening up all the miscellaneous worlds of Myst, of which there are 4, tangential to this main one, which is Myst Island itself. The setup is for the mid and end game. We are basically doing one large pass around the far side of the island to open up all of these ages in order to speed up our route later, because the return to the island is always through a central point, which we'll talk about later. He is going to be going to the age called Channelwood first. He's obviously running this game with all of the puzzle solutions already memorized. In this particular iteration of the run, there is no randomization, and all of the solutions are known. You'll see that what he stands in place, taking his time, seemingly arbitrarily. I guarantee you that's not the case. A lot of these animations are forced, and that's due to the VR nature of the game, which carries into the PC version. He's going to go down the tree, and you'll see as he enters the tree, he actually blacks out. That's actually skipping vehicle transitions, which saves a little bit of time here, but will end up disabling it later in a future scene to save more time for the opposite reason.
That's a good Myst Island. I'll take that.
It was good, Myst Island.
Myst Island's fun because you have to do all this precise clicking, like right at the beginning of the run when your nerves and your hands are shaking, so it's just great. Highly recommended. Ah, I missed it. Okay, back up. We'll do backup. Okay. We're moving these valves to move water around. We just have to turn the water on here and then run. Okay.
So the water flow we're setting up is so that we can move around the up to the second and third floors of Channelwood. These water powers the elevators that are going to. Powers the elevators that allow us to move between the multiple floors of Channelwood. As he moves up to the second floor, I think this is a good time to squeeze in some donations.
Or announcements, yeah. We're just be walking around a lot up here.
We do have a couple of donations I can squeeze in here. Anonymous donating $20, saying, here's to a lightning-fast Myst run. Good luck, Rad, and thanks to the event for helping out a good cause. And thank you for donating. And JD Puppy, once again, another $8. Another, pun. Thank you. I'm excited about getting a lunch special for $8. My last comment on food has me a hankering for some fusion cuisine. Of course it does. I will say that the tie has been broken for now.
So now what Rad is doing is he's heading over to the staircase, which will actually go down several times. We apologize for the disorientation. It's, a little nauseating.
Yeah.
He's directing the water flow once again to allow him to take an elevator up to the third floor. And then we'll start to see the point of this particular run, or the main goal, which is to collect all pages. And all pages refers to blue and red pages that are dotted around the Ages of Myst. And they correspond to a couple of books that are in Myst Library, without going too deep into the spoilers. So this is the version of this particular version of Myst is noteworthy in that we, as the player, have pockets. And because we have pockets, we can carry more than one thing at a time. In the original version of Myst, you were not able to carry more than one page at a time. So you actually, in the speed runs of the original version, you have to make 2 trips to every age. And this version is noteworthy as being the one where you can collect both pages on the same visit. Here we go, Rad using the teleport to safe spot to actually move back to the elevator to skip having to walk back. He's now descending back down to the second floor, still skipping vehicle transitions back down the nauseous staircase.
Shoutouts to the accessibility feature, which tells you the water is flowing through a pipe.
Yes, it is quite nice. It does let you know very quickly that you've made a mistake. He's setting up the valves now for the final exit puzzle. And which involves getting the water over to an elevator that is separated across the swamp here. You have to raise a little bridge and then run back.
First try, let's go. I'll say one thing about these animations, like these valves and stuff you're trying to hit, you kind of just have to drive by click them, and they don't make a noise that confirms your success until maybe a second and a half later. So you just kind of have to click and run, and then if you don't hear a sound, go, and then back out.
He is using, as close as he can, he's using normalized setups to basically align himself to where he knows he needs to click. It's not perfect, and it's extremely frustrating when you have to end your run by turning around and staring at the thing that you failed to click.
Yeah. So yeah, PB attempts are not kind. One misclick is kind of out the door.
Yep. So
okay, that's Channelwood.
Yep. Now we're seeing Myst Library for the first time. This particular area again will pass through several more times. The second age that we're going to visit is called Selenetic, and for this I actually have to give Rad some space so that he can listen to some audio cues.
That marker switch is my worst enemy.
All right. So if the entrance puzzle doesn't tip you off, Selenetic puzzles largely revolve around audio and audio cues. So although we'll be skipping most of the puzzles here, we will. If you were to play the game casually, you'd be up against a handful of sound-related puzzles. The collection once again uses the the return to the return to safe spot. But when he does that, when he uses it in this age this time, you'll see him briefly menu the vehicle transitions, and he'll do that so that the exit puzzle is set up so that it's a little bit faster.
Yeah, weirdly skipping the transitions in the Maze Runner is like functionally slower than watching them. Unfortunately, we are doomed to watch all of the Maze Runner. Okay, give me a second for this. 51043. Woo! Okay, let's go.
So as Rad just mentioned, the name of this next section called Maze Runner. This is I would say the major thing that is noteworthy in the different iterations of Myst, because they all have a slightly different approach. To recap, as Rad mentioned, the original version of Myst, which came out in 1993, was written in a program called HyperCard, which, for all intents and purposes, is a glorified PowerPoint presentation. Because of that, the animations are just movies that play in between each interaction, and you can skip all of them. The entire Maze Runner takes 20 seconds if you skip all of the animations. The second version of Myst, Real Myst, which came out in 2000, you can actually walk sideways through a wall, clip out of bounds, and then fall through Maze Runner to the very bottom. It's very, very slow, and you have to land on the ending station. It is very useful. It's still faster than doing Maze Runner itself, but it is superseded by the Real Myst Masterpiece Edition, the Unity version, which also has the same gap in the geometry that you can walk through and fall down through Maze Runner. But in addition to being able to fall faster in that game due to some very clever save lagging of the game, you also have an option in Real Myst Masterpiece Edition to toggle between what's called Classic Movement, which mimics original Myst's kind of PowerPoint presentation feel, and Free Roam, which is what's used in this game. But when you switch from Free Roam back to Classic Movement, the game has to then warp you to the closest, shall we say, classic point, which would correspond to one of the original, vistas of the original game. Because of that, in Real Myst Masterpiece Edition, when you fall through Maze Runner and then switch from Free Roam to Classic, you are automatically warped to the closest classic point, which is the end of Maze Runner. So it's very, very quick to do Maze Runner in Real Myst Masterpiece Edition. But finally, that leaves this version, which has none of that tech, no skips whatsoever, and no out-of-bounds clips that we can use to warp to the end of Maze Runner.
So it's like 4 minutes, 4+ minutes of just like, don't get bored. It is more of a boredom check than you think. When the run is only like 20 minutes long and 4 minutes of it is Maze Runner, you'd be surprised how many times I like miss menu and just like shake my head and start over.
Would you like me to alleviate the boredom with a handful of donations?
Absolutely.
Because we have a number of them. Rubicante did mention in chat this one, donating $5, saying, "Fun Myst, did you know fact? Did you know that 11-year-old Rubicante once got yelled at by a librarian for swearing loudly because he could not figure out that large amount of punctuation? Selenetic age maze while playing Myst on a computer in the local public library. Shoutouts to both an awesome Ampwave host and an awesome Raccoon runner. Donation to Dust bonus game so Fidget can get some cupcakes." More news on that later. I've got a few more donations here. JD says, with $8. Oh, wow, another $8? This run is going so fast, I almost missed it. Good luck, Raccoon. You're awesome. Do I have time for more? Because I've got some really meaty ones. Crash McLeod donates $50. Says, Fastest Furs is one of my favorite events all year, and I'm glad to support it again. Donating for our bid war, but I can't decide between the games, so I gave accordingly to both, of course. Good luck, Savage, on your run a little bit later. Dicey donates $100 and says, "Hi, Rad. You are good at collecting pages." And
I've never thought about that, but that's amazing. Thank you.
And Flapjack donates $500.
No way. Get out of here.
As trans rights are human rights, And that means we are getting bonus game number 1, Dust and Elysian Tale. We have blown that out of the water already.
Well, thank you, Flapjack. Thank you all for your donations. One little feature of this is at any point when you're moving in the maze runner, you can just get up and walk around, which tickles me to no end, and I don't know why, but it does let us set up to like exit conveniently. So
it is. It's if you can remember to make it back to the console in time, it is possible to actually buffer all inputs to make them frame perfect. So it is a neat little distraction. So we are down 2 ages now. Channelwood first, Selenetics second. Now we're coming up to the short end of the run because the next 2 ages actually go rather quickly. The next age is called the Mechanical Age, which is, I think, the shortest in the run, and the puzzle to get out of Mechanical is actually right at the start. The solution is hidden around the world, but the actual place where you enter the solution is right at the beginning, and so we unlock our exit before we even enter the age, really, and then just run around finding the 2 pages.
wait. Oh no.
Oh no, the buttons.
Oh wait. Okay. If you lose your place here, it is like a nightmare to recover. Marathon stress. It's fine. We got it. I can't believe I recovered from that, honestly.
There you go. So if you haven't noticed yet, there is a little bit of a theme in the 2 pages where the red page and blue page are found, which we'll see carried over into the last age, which is probably my favorite age. I'm not gonna spoil it too early if you've never seen it, but I think it's the prettiest and the most interesting. But as you can see, Rad's already collected both pages and is already on his way out. So by far the shortest age. We skipped basically all of it. There is quite a bit to see.
I will say, and this is not really speedrun commentary, but every time I walk out of the library backwards, it makes me very happy. That's all. I just wanted to mention that.
Something you sure can't do in VR, because you actually have to point where you want to go. And if you don't look where you go, you'll just wind up clipped into a wall or something. So you saw Rad pick up a mysterious white page, more on that later, and then head into the last age called Stone Ship. This age, we actually have to pretty much full clear. We don't get to skip a whole lot, or actually anything at all, really. So you'll see most of this age, he'll have to run back and forth to the pump that he set up at the beginning a couple of times, and he'll have to also go into the main structure. So there's this puzzle is actually to be optimized. I think Rad, you talked about wanting to see just how much you can get away with of emptying before it stops working.
I did cork it again a little early, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. You're supposed to drain the water so that it floats to the top when you like fill it back in, and like.
Yep.
It's unclear how much you actually have to drain it, but.
Yep. A lot of the puzzles in Myst and the Myst series are integrated into the world, which is extremely good world building on the part of Cyan, to be commended. This keys is harder than it looks when you're trying to go fast. Those 2 keys can definitely.
The number of times I picked up the first key and it just will not put it down, I'll take that win. I'm already afraid of this button, Flapjack. All right, we'll get there.
This is a run-ending mistake coming up. There's a button that you have to push, and both in PC and VR, it's very close to other buttons that end your run. So,
I'm just gonna take a hot frame here or two to make sure. Okay, just kidding. I went for it. We're fine. Everything's fine.
Let's go.
If you press the wrong button, you have to go do like the entire lighthouse section over again. So.
Yeah, it is straight up 45 to 50 second time loss. So it is pretty bad, and I have made that mistake in VR, and I've watched Rad make it in PC. So it's very, very easy to do both. Once again, using the teleport to safe spot one last time to get us out of there quick, and then pumping out the last area and escaping the age back to Myst Island.
One of the hardest things about this game is that the touch targets are just like so small, and there's so few lineups for them. So you just really have to develop muscle memory, and if you mess up, you're just improvising immediately. Okay, time to turn in the pages.
So you'll see that he walks up to the books and the pages lay themselves out. He's able to turn the first page in, but his feet are glued to the floor while the animation plays, so he has to sit there and wait till the animation is over. Then he can turn in the last 4. As he flips to the blue side, you'll see him open the fireplace while the pages are actually popping in. It saves a little bit of time, and then he runs into the fireplace and enters this code, which is, again, not random in this version, so he just knows it off the top of his head. Selects a book behind him, which is green. Haven't seen that color yet in this game. And we have arrived at the end of the game, skipping the last 2 pages because they end the game and don't give us the ending we want for this version. Time ends when the book closes.
There you go.
That is Myst all pages, everybody.
So there's a red page and a blue page left in the fireplace, as you can see, but those actually end the game, right? Like, you can't actually get the best ending if you turn either of those pages in. So while this category is called all pages, you know, it's I guess technically not all pages. So it's I love the name of the category for that reason.
Most pages.
Yeah, most pages. All valid pages. I don't know.
Well, most-ish.
There is no version of Rhyme. If you're familiar with Myst, they added in the 3D versions of Myst a like bonus age that kind of bridges the story between this and the sequel, which was just announced, by the way, is a full 3D remake. Woo-hoo! So one day we'll see Riven, and hopefully one day we'll see Riven at Fastest Furs, but Rhyme, the 5th age, has not been added to this version of the game yet, so this is kind of the end of the content.
It is done.
All right, I'm gonna let Adris just talk to like me as if I'm just right in front of him. I will say, obviously, thank you, Fastest Furs, for having me. It's been a joy to be able to kind of be a part of this community, both in a runner aspect and also as a volunteer. So after this run, you'll see me on commentary later and in the chat all weekend. So I appreciate that. Flapjack, thank you for helping me out, especially with your busy day. I appreciate it.
You are welcome.
And I will say, also Myst is, I mean, obviously I have some like nostalgia for it. I grew up on it and everything, but it is really a good speed game. There are so many different versions, so many different categories, and so many different platforms that you can run on. I have run this game on PC, a Nintendo DS, Nintendo 3DS, PlayStation, the iPad. Like, I know there are versions for the Saturn and the 3DO and the CDI. I'm sure I'm missing some. There's, 5 versions of this game. There are 5 mainline games. There are spin-offs. And any percent in most of these versions of Myst is under 2 minutes. Like, I could probably do an entire any percent run right now and still not break my estimate. So if you are interested in getting like involved in speedrunning, it is a good first speedrun. It does teach you a lot of the mechanics of like, you have to develop that muscle memory, you have to do a lot of repetition, you have to learn live split, all that stuff. But it's not a huge commitment, and there is a pretty decent community around it. A handful of runners always running every game in the series, so we would love to have you. I would be willing to help you get started if that's something you're interested in. Oh, we even have VR. This game even has VR categories, so all you VR chat people out there, you could run this game in VR too. So anyway, I guess that's all I got. Thank you again for having me. I appreciate it.
And thank you. Sorry, I got a problem popping up. Program's trying to open on my computer. Beautiful, just when we needed it. And thank you so much, Rad, for that very awesome run. We had a couple donations pop in during that run. Barker Jr. with $10. No comment.